right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Well, it's the middle of winter, the holidays are over, and the weather is unpredictable. Isn't there anything to look forward to? You bet there is. Cash Blast from your Nebraska Lottery is back. Until April 1st, buy a 2x2 ticket and enter the voucher number online for a chance to win one of 7 weekly drawings for $5,000 or $500. And if your voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. Hey, there's nothing like a little green to cure the winter blues. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchased from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, 4-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
St. Patrick's Day is on a Monday this year, but St. Patrick's Eve is on a Sunday, and you won't want to miss that party at Matson's Bowling and Billiards. Families are welcome to join in on the Olympics and win great prizes, or just come down to have one of Sarah's favorites, corned beef and cabbage, or one of Brady's favorites, bangers and mash. Plus, great music all afternoon from Crosby, Stills, Bangers and Mash. That's St. Patrick's Eve on Sunday, March 16th at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. When it comes to gift giving, it's all about the wow factor. And let me tell you, nothing wows quite like jewelry. Whether it's a delicate necklace or a statement ring, jewelry makes the right statement. So if you want to knock her socks off, or anything else for that matter, skip the generic gifts and go straight for the bling. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Welcome to The Drive with AD Raff and Ahman Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, welcome to this magnificent, beautiful Monday morning here in the capital city. It is sunny, 43 degrees today in Lincoln, Nebraska, with a high of 77 degrees. Nick, we will take it, my man.
That is absolutely right. I'm all in.
77
degrees today.
Yes.
We have Raff with a new mic, and I am excited to see what he sounds like. Raff, yes, what do you sound like?
Good morning.
Whoa. Raff, look at this.
It's good?
It's really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
awesome.
It's night and day. Night and day.
Oh,
the other one wasn't
gosh.
terrible by any means, but you can tell
they were terrible. They're terrible. Terrible. AG, good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. What's the weather where you guys are at? AG, what's it like in Houston this morning, man?
42 and clear right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you guys dried out a little bit down there?
Yeah. It's been warm. It's the second cool day in a row. Saturday was like in the 80s. It was nice. It was 80. Friday was in the 80s, but then Sunday it cooled down in the low 50s, and then today we're 42 right now in the morning. We'll see, but it'll probably warm up by noon. Usually what it does down here in Houston.
Nice. Rafferty, what you guys got sitting out there in Huntsville, man?
48 degrees, ranging towards 70 today.
Nice. Yeah. When do you fly out, today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
There you go.
So you will not be on the show tomorrow morning. Is that what I'm gathering?
Yeah, I'll be in the air headed to Chicago.
Nice. Cool. What time is your flight?
7:30.
Nice. Yeah, it's going to be a short week as well. We got the boys state tournament that starts on Wednesday. The girls was last week. Nick, yeah. First of all, man, great job. You and Foreman both, man, did a great job. The times I tuned in and checked you out.
Thank you.
I pulled on and watched a few of the games on the online NFHS network, and you guys were way ahead of the TV.
That is what I've heard. We were getting texts during the championship games on Saturday that we were like 20 seconds ahead of the TV.
At least sometimes. 20 seconds. So I wanted to watch both, but I was like, well, I wanted to watch it in the parts where I didn't care. I just turned off the TV and listened to you guys.
Of course.
Nick, how many games did you do this past week?
24.
Nice.
24, 6 a day. 6 per day.
It feels like your voice is better than last year.
That's, you know what? I feel that way as well. I've done a couple of different regiments this year that I'm experimenting with. Number one is, as silly as they sound, on the way to the arena every morning, I did an actual warm-up. Like I did the vocal warm-up. And so like that was somewhat important. It takes like 5 minutes, right? The other thing that I have started to do is a humidifier in my room. So because I was reading about kind of the science a little bit behind this, and when you drink water, it doesn't reach the vocal cords. It only just hydrates the body. So what you have to do to really get it actually to the vocal cords is inhale steam. And so they said, if you have a humidifier, then it's in your room. It's actually going to improve your voice. So it's a little, I mean, there's times where, I mean, on Saturday, especially, like, it's such a weird feeling, guys, because it's not like your voice or your throat hurts. It's you just try to talk and you can't talk. So it's a weird feeling to describe. So ultimately, though, we got through it. You know, no telling how this week's going to be. I didn't want to count the chickens before they hatch that I'm doing better than I usually do because, you know, I know how karma works.
Besides, obviously, you didn't have the radio. I mean, you had the radio, but not the show.
Yeah.
So in the evenings, were you pretty much just saying pretty mum?
I did not say a word at like 9:30 or later after I left. And then I wouldn't talk until 8:45 the next morning.
Yeah, you gotta save your voice.
100%. So, but no, it was good. It was good. It was a really good state tournament. Maybe Saturday's games weren't as good as we hoped for state championships, but the quarterfinals and the semis were really, really good. So we're all about it.
Well, big shout out to Lincoln Christian.
Yeah,
on back-to-back state championships, the girls team.
That's right.
There, Els and her team, and I think it was Els. There was also
Kenna Els, Maddie Casabom.
Yeah. There was also
Samantha Deer King,
the other starter,
Macy Pittenger.
Yeah. All those girls, the entire team of coaches. Well,
Yeah.
a big shout out to Lincoln Christian girls claiming their second straight girls state championship. That, you know, and shout out to Milford too, who they played. I mean, Milford. That was the first appearance in 20 years.
Milford and Shayla Rottenberg, and you also on that team had Taylor Oldfield.
Who's the freshman? That's 6'3".
Roth, Shayla Rottenberg,
6'3".
Yeah, 6'3" freshman. I don't know. I think I told you guys
too, or who her mom is.
Yes. Yeah, Lisa Reitzma, the former Husker volleyball American. So I told you guys this story. I haven't said it. I didn't say it publicly. It was bizarre because I'm sitting down at the table, you know, at my table that I call games at, and all of a sudden during the Milford and Minden game on Friday, all of a sudden Jalen Reyes and Danny Busboom Kelly sit down right next to me, and you get thrown off at the initial moment that they sit down. And when I took the headset off, I talked to them, and that was when I found out that they were there watching Shayla Rottenberg from Milford. So they were there for a little bit. They left as soon as the horn sounded because, you know, bombardment of pictures and stuff. So yeah, you had that, but it was really, really nice to actually be able to sit down and have a 5-10 minute conversation in between commercial breaks with those two, because they're in a really fun spot right now with beach volleyball going on, obviously the transition stuff. So it's really, really interesting to talk to them for a couple minutes.
You know what I think has been interesting about that that volleyball team as well, quick sidetrack to there, is they've kept all their players still thus far, man.
Yeah.
You haven't seen any transfer in the portal or anything of that nature. Nick, to go back to high school basketball real quick, AG, are they playing your guys' state championships now in Texas yet?
For basketball?
Yeah. Or are they already done?
Shoot, you know what? I haven't really caught wind of that. I know I've caught wind of track. And,
I've seen that dude run that 9.9.
We got from 9.9, 10 4s, 10 3s from freshmen and sophomores. Insane. So yeah, they're in full track swing. I know that much down here, and then obviously baseball,
right,
and softball is going on. Yeah. So,
Raff, what about you guys there in Huntsville? Are they doing state championships in basketball? Is that already done?
Nope, it's going on right now. Actually,
yeah, I would say it's going on here too.
So the championships are played for here, so that kind of surprises me a little bit.
Where do they play? What city do they play? Is it Montgomery?
No, it's in Huntsville.
Is it? Oh, really?
Yep. They just moved it here. Apparently, I heard it on the news last night.
Okay, so are they doing the girls right now, or is it boys?
That I'm not sure of. I'm not sure.
Wow, look up.
Nice job, Raff.
We got Craig right here. Good morning to you, Craig.
That was real good analysis, Raff.
Nick, I was going to be so nice to you today, but now I'm just going to say it. I was waiting for that text this morning saying my voice is broken. I'm not talking today. And
what are you? I'm here. My voice isn't broken. We're good
for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that.
Well, Craig says here, Nick and Jay did a great job as always. You guys deserve more praise. And ONDP give Nick a pay raise.
No, I'm good. I get compensated just fine.
You guys did a great job, man. Did a great job. Nick, of all the games, because this is a big deal, man. I think sometimes the girls there was a lot of the second, third place games that took place.
Yes.
And those were over at the
Standing Bear.
Okay. Yeah. Who won? I didn't see who won the second for Class A at least.
So Class A and B don't have third place games.
It's C lower, right?
It's C1 and lower.
Okay.
So
And that's cool.
Minden beat Gothenburg, I want to say, in C1 and C2. You had, I believe, Crofton beat Guardian Angels Central Catholic in that one. In C2 and D1, I have to think it was Alma and Cedar Catholic. And I believe Cedar Catholic won that one by double digits. And then you talk about a roller coaster of a tournament for Wilcox Hildreth, in Class D2 action. They knock off number 1 seed Shelton in the quarterfinals.
Right.
They lose to Dorchester in the semis, and unfortunately lose in the third place game in Class D2 to Archangels Catholic. And so those were your third place teams, though.
Okay.
For the most part across the classes.
Okay. I know we got Class A coming up. We'll talk a little more about that tomorrow, but
yeah,
and just not Class A, but all the classes. Obviously, the guys will take center court.
Yeah,
starting on Wednesday. What's the first game you got Wednesday?
I haven't even looked.
That's all right.
I haven't even looked. I've prepped. I have my prep done for all of Class B and and most of Class A. Today is where I start cranking out the Class C1 and C2. Class D1 and D2 is tomorrow. And then like I'll prep for them on Tuesday. And then you can't, I mean, this is what I was telling. So I just spoke to a class a couple weeks ago, actually at the journalism college, and they were asking me about how long a prep takes for this stuff. And this is what I was telling them is that the unfortunate part is you can prep for Wednesday, 4 days in advance, like we are right now, but you can't prep for Thursday. You can't prep for Friday. So it's a, you get home Wednesday night. And I think I was up till about 1:30 each morning the night before prepping for the next day, because you have 6 games and you do not feel like prepping, or you don't have enough time. You guys know this. You don't have enough time with a 15-minute break in between games to get, the sufficient knowledge that you need. So the good thing is, like, especially Class A and Class B, and I don't think this is wrong of me to say, a lot more of the players. You have more familiarity with those players, obviously. Just exposure. So especially once it gets to like the semis and the championships, those don't take long. But I'm telling you, like, and I'm not embarrassed to admit this. Like when I had the Wilcox Hildreth game and Pender, that was one of the games, or excuse me, Wilcox Hildreth and Shelton. That was probably the game that took 3 hours to fully prep for from start to finish, just because you number one, it's hard to find enough information about some of those smaller schools, but also number two is you're starting from scratch. You have zero background knowledge of who they are as a program or anything.
Doing a research paper.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing about Nick, though, is his buy-in to it and his interest in the game levels. You see his retention so quickly.
Yeah,
like, notice it.
You gotta want to do it. Yeah, I
noticed it during football that he says the name or whatever, and he remembers it. And you very seldom see him look down on his sheet because he memorizes it so quickly. But that's one thing I've noticed, that what makes Nick the future broadcaster of the year.
Thanks, Raff. I really appreciate it. No,
it is impressive, man, to be able to do that.
Yeah, I would say a tip there too, Nick. Like when you have like a multiple game, because I've done esports game, esports tournaments and back-to-back bracketing, and like when I knew I have, like you said, you can't start studying up our team 4 or 5 days from now because you got the 3 or 4 teams ahead of them. Exactly. So what I would do every now and then, I would just take one snippet of that team that was like a little further away, like a style or a scheme, or as they say in esports, their meta, which is their game plan on how they're going to attack one team, and just take that one thing and then go over it, but then come back to it later once it's game time for me to know that roster as well. Yeah. So just take a little bit at a time of later teams in the bracket that might obviously make it in deeper. So you kind of know, okay, that team, that was a little thing I started doing a couple of years ago, just to have some knowledge of a little bit of information from a team that's going to be deeper into the playoff run or the tournament run.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, you look back and it's really cool. Number one, I say it all the time. Really cool that we have the opportunity at the Ticket as a locally owned independent radio station to showcase. I think that's the proper word. Showcase all classes from Class A and B to Class D1 and D2 for those exposure reasons that we talked about earlier. Because we are allowing them, or we're providing. I think that's a better way. We are providing them a space to showcase their abilities as basketball players, right? So, to that point, though, AG, I mean, you think about it, guys. You think 15 players on a team times, 2 teams, so 30 different players per game, essentially, you ballpark, times 6. That's 180 per day times 4 days. I mean, we're talking, we rattled through probably 700 plus names of athletes just in the last 4 days alone, and from Wednesday to Saturday.
Which and like to pronounce.
Ooh, that's a great
yeah, enunciations is
the enunciations.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Oof, you say fun.
Yeah. Well, especially esports wise. Esports.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You got gamer tags that are like, how you say this?
Yeah, I'm sure. But
appropriately.
No, I think, but I mean, it's super cool, right? When you think about, okay, yeah, you know what? There was exposure provided for 700 plus high school athletes in just a 4-day span. It's pretty cool. So a lot of names that Jay and I talked about though too.
Yeah, those are you're doing it on the fly.
Yeah.
So and obviously it's not like football to where you got, a good, 25, 30 seconds between plays, sometimes more. I mean, you're going this thing boom, 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 up and down the court. But I was listening to you guys. I was like, boy, him and Jay, man, that's a lot of information that you're having to devour.
Yeah, Jay likes to talk junk too.
He's known for that.
Yeah, Jay likes to talk junk, so I had to give it right back. Sometimes we forgot there was a basketball or basketball game going on because we decided to start scrapping. So
you dealt with that's Jay. That's Jay right there. Real quick here, I looked it up. So here in the Houston, Texas area, it was Duncanville. I think the girls and the boys won state here. There are what is it? 6A school, which is a top big school, a big class school. That means you talking about a small junior college at the high school level. Yeah, at the high school level. 6A D1. There were 6A D1, Duncanville here, and they won state. They beat Bel Air in a tight one, 54-52. 54. That was a game right there. Sounds like. So yeah.
AG, those schools like in California, Texas, see another place that I've been is like that. Not as much Chicago. They got some big ones.
Florida, California, Texas, Florida, Ohio.
Ohio's got some big ones.
It's nice. Nevada and Arizona. Arizona got some schools.
They got some big ones too. Yeah. There are some schools in California and Texas I've spoken at. Literally, they have 4,500 students in their high school. I'm going to do 2 assemblies at 2,200 students apiece.
Wow.
Those are hard to do.
Yeah.
Because you got to work the entire gymnasium.
Yeah.
But they're just massive schools, man. Yeah. Massive schools down there, particularly in Texas.
That's what I said, small junior colleges. Yes. At the high school level, though, in terms of enrollment.
That's wild.
Hey, real quick before we go to break, because we come back, we're going to talk. We got a lot of sports coming up. We're going to say the 10 o'clock hour for Nebraska basketball, both men's and women's, as far as that goes. Just kind of let you know what's going on. There was a lot of NFL action. When we come back, we're going to talk about that. One game, though, in college basketball, when Alabama beat Auburn yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be just a whole arena fight,
on
man.
Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday. I thought that was going to be an arena fight.
The Michigan game, state game, too.
Yes, that was another one.
That got scrappy at center court.
Yes, it did.
There was, it brings in the beauty of March Madness, the upsets, etc. You think the South Carolina Texas was going to be a good game. I looked at the halftime. I didn't watch that game. I just looked at the halftime score. I'm not even sure what the final score was, but South Carolina was up like 33-16 at the half. I'm like, that game's done for the most part. But this is the beauty of it all, of March Madness. Kind of keeps us going until the Masters, if you would. Man,
that's right.
If you're a golf fan. But we'll talk a lot of that when we come back, folks. It is Monday. It is The Drive. We'll be right back to talk some NFL action.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchase from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
Lincoln's newest restaurant isn't just a typical sports bar. It's the sports bar for so many reasons. Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill in South Lincoln has 23 beers on tap and 36 TVs featuring all things sports from MLB to soccer to golf and more, and football, of course, in the fall. Stop by for their grand opening this Friday, March 14th, and enjoy great food and drink selection at Lincoln's newest go-to, Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. When it comes to gift giving, it's all about the wow factor. And let me tell you, nothing wows quite like jewelry. Whether it's a delicate necklace or a statement ring, jewelry makes the right statement. So if you want to knock her socks off, or anything else for that matter, skip the generic gifts and go straight for the bling. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and warm with an afternoon high around 81. Tonight, clear skies and a light breeze, a low near 38. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies, continued breeze, and an afternoon high around 59. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Early break.
Joy to the world, the Lord.
That's the Christmas one. That's not this one. Is that why you were confused?
Oh, wow. It's Christmas
Let
Eve.
Earth receiver king.
Can you imagine all of a sudden just being at midnight mass and all of a sudden Jeremiah was a bull.
Oh, sorry, guys. Wrong one.
Wrong one.
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we're back on this Monday. Lots of NFL action. There were some shockers that took place yesterday as far as the trades, guys signing. First one I'm going to start off with, Josh Allen is a very rich man right now. He was before, but he really is right now. Signs for $30 million through 2030 with the Buffalo Bills. $250 million is guaranteed. His $55 million a year makes him only second to our guy there, Prescott, I believe.
Yep, Dak.
Only second to Dak as far as yearly salary. You guys, were you surprised at all by the extension or the amount of Josh Allen?
No, he earned it. Period. He put on a season. Obviously, didn't get to the main goal, win the Super Bowl, but for his work as a player that he is, physical, the ability to throw the ball, extend the pocket, be a most valuable player for his team. And what he's done in his first several years in the NFL, he's definitely earned it. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't like the narrative that most broadcasters were talking, trying to give him the MVP. And he finally had a year where he basically, he kind of proved it, but it's like you still got to earn it, right? And so it's a difference between proclaiming him the MVP before he wins it. That was kind of my little thing, but finally he proved this season, with all the other season behind him, so he in his body of work earned the MVP and obviously earned this contract. And looking forward, now the team, they've got to continue to keep the weapons with him, around him, because he's gonna basically be the X factor along with a good receiving core, a good running back core, good defense, offensive line, and defensive rush. Then he's gonna be a guy that where they one position don't have to worry about, because they know he's going to healthy, being a healthy Josh Allen, he's going to get the job done.
Referee,
you got to give credit to the Pagula family. He had 2 years left on that contract, and that they're taking no chances. They have the new stadium opening here soon, so they definitely wanted the crown jewel of that franchise to be there. So taking the initiative and not even letting it get to a point to where he had any questions about the franchise, what the extension was going to be, what kind of money it was going to be. So they took care of it early. So I think that's positive, and that shows a lot to that Buffalo Bills franchise, unlike those other franchises that start with Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I honestly, guys, I think it's hard to be surprised with any sorts of money that we see get shoveled out nowadays. Obviously, Myles Garrett's going to be in this conversation too, but specifically with Josh Allen, I mean, the accolades are there to back him up right now, other than the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. So you hope this one kind of went under the radar, but they re-signed Khalil Shakir a couple of weeks ago as well, and so it's like the only piece that they probably need to try to lock up that they haven't is James Cook in the backfield, or at least figure out what they're going to do with the running back situation. And so Because we saw how valuable a guy like James Cook is to that offense, right? Like it provides not only on top of Josh Allen's throwing ability, James Cook can run it out of the backfield. He can throw or catch it out of the backfield. But then if defenses have to worry about James Cook, that takes off defenses always being able to prioritize Josh Allen's legs,
100%.
which are such a big weapon. But if you take James Cook out of that, they don't have to worry as much about whoever is back there, more than likely, right? So it's one of those things of for Buffalo. They've done a good job so far in locking some of their valuable pieces up. I think there's still work to do.
Yeah.
Right. It's not over yet. O-line, defensive players, making sure the guys on Milano's, I don't know where his contract's at, but if it's up or getting close to being up, looking at handling that, catering to everybody that they know that makes that team run is the biggest thing. And I say that's one thing Bill Belichick did a good job of, being at New England. He would solidify, players at different positions defensively mostly, because obviously defense will help you win the games a lot better. You don't have to have a power. I mean, we've seen it with the Patriots. They didn't have to produce a overpowering offense. They just had to produce a consistent offense that could score points or get you in the area to score points in terms of long field goals. And that's what they did. And then also they helped out by Tom Brady able to take a pay cut for all those years to then have the money to buy players on defense, linebackers, defensive backs, D linemen, nose guards, 3 technique, stuff like that. And so when you have everybody on the same page like that, all aligned, then it makes it easier for a GM/head coach to make decisions of who to sign, when to sign, and basically having the resources to sign them in the bank.
Yeah, I think here's a trivia question for you guys off the cuff. So Josh Allen went to a college. Many people might not know this. He went to a college before Wyoming. He transferred to Wyoming in 2015, played at Wyoming from 2015 to 2017. Anybody have a guess where Josh Allen went to college? I had never heard of this college.
It was in California, wasn't it?
It was in California. Reedley College in California. California. It's a 2-year community college out there in Reedley, California. Josh was there in 2014, transferred out of there after 1 season, went to Wyoming, was at Wyoming 2015, 2016, and 2017, and then ultimately got drafted to the Buffalo Bills.
It's crazy because he played with C.J. Johnson at Wyoming, Cluster, former Husker, and it was weird seeing C.J. and those guys just on the phone texting back and forth.
That was so crazy,
wasn't it, Raff? I think you were out at that time, weren't you?
I was in your house when they were. I was like, this is so wild. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, those guys all played together at Wyoming, and I did not know he went to a school before I did Wyoming.
Yeah, Reedley College in Reedley, California. It was a 2-year community college, but he was there for 1 year in 2014, then transferred to Wyoming in 2015. So
Big Bull.
The more you know.
Yes, indeed. Well, I tell you what, another one before we get to the last one. Another one that was big was Devontae Adams going out to the Rams.
Yeah,
they obviously the Rams moved on for Cooper Kupp, but they still got I always mess his name up.
Puka Nacua.
They got Puka Nacua that's still there.
There's upside there.
Yes, you got your quarterback. I mean, I think that's a great landing spot for Devontae Adams. Warm weather. He's getting up there in age, as far as that goes. He's not old by any stretch, but you figure this last couple of years for him, obviously the year he had the Raiders was and obviously the year in New York was but going to a place like that, a solid organization, top down, top bottom, obviously they got some things to do, but you got a complimentary receiver with you as well. And he's signed for some nice money as well, man.
Yeah, a little $22 million a year action. Yeah. He got a $12 million signing bonus as well. Devontae Adams. AD, we can't bury the lead here, though.
This is the one that I'm coming up with. I did not see DK Metcalf going to Pittsburgh, 5 years, $150 million.
How about that? You know what?
I was shocked.
Do you want to know what I saw Adam Schefter tweet this morning?
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
That Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin are in conversation.
I like that.
Conversations.
I like that better than Sam Darnold.
I've dreamt it.
This is just me. Okay. This is just me. All these are nice, Obviously it'd be great to get those, but I think they better have this much aggression, be it just as much aggressive on the offensive line as well, because no matter if you put an aging Rodgers back there, he's going to get absolutely killed. We were grateful that we had a guy like a Fields and obviously a Russell that were elusive. And you think about the number of times those guys had to run for their lives. But I think a lot of that also comes to Art Smith as well, who is basically Matt Canada 2.0 as far as play calling. They've got to make some moves because regardless of who you put back there, if the play calling doesn't change, those guys are going to be in some trouble. So obviously I love the DK Metcalf move. I did not see that coming whatsoever. I mean, when Raff sent me that, I was like, what? So I went and looked again on Adam Schefter. I'm like, yeah. And then I seen they're in talks of potentially Sam Darnold. And then I seen
there it is.
Well, the Fields is wanting probably more money, which you could probably get outside of Pittsburgh, which still I just wish that we got him a shot. But Aaron Rodgers, but I think if you bring in Aaron Rodgers, well, that way Art Smith is going to have to change the way he's calling plays in, man.
Justin Fields is in Dubai right now, so he's choosing. Justin Fields is checking out either the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New York Jets, trying to decide which one he wants to go to, and he's just chilling in Dubai.
I love the Ben Roethlisberger video. Have you seen that yet?
No.
He's got a helmet on and he goes, Coach T, I think I still got a few throws left in me. You got GP on one side and DK on the other. So
any quarterback would want that in his position.
Were you guys surprised by that one at all?
No, the writers was kind of on the wall because we see what Seattle's doing. They're doing a full-on reconstruction.
Yeah, they are.
So, and when I first heard of DK going, potentially going to Steelers, I was like, that would be a good pickup because Tomlin has a guy. He looks at the way he looks at his players and guys coming in, and I know DK Metcalf mindset. That he's a guy that he wants to, obviously he wants to win. Everybody wants to win first, obviously. But then obviously just the way he plays ball. The way, when you watch him track down Buda Baker a couple years ago on an interception return to keep Buda from scoring a touchdown, that's a Tomlin guy. Yeah, that's an effort guy. Tomlin likes guys who going to show 100% effort, no matter if they're getting beat up in the game and they're going to lose or if they're up ahead. He wants to see character. He wants to see hard work, determination. And so when that happened as a rumor, I was like, yeah, this is potentially is going to get figured out and get done. The part of the other flip side is with, the conversation with Aaron. And I agree with, I think you said, Nick, or you, AD, about getting those guys protection in terms of the offensive line. You got to have that. If you're going to bring in somebody like an Aaron, then obviously you're gonna not cut loose, but obviously somebody's gonna walk either Fields or Russell Wilson. Then that offensive line at the end of the day, I don't care who you got Pat Mahomes back there. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
You got to have an offensive line to give that quarterback at least 4 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds to throw the ball, go through the progressions, and make a decision, and not be forced into having the fact of anxiety of seeing ghosts. And getting out the backfield and doing something with the ball that he probably knew he shouldn't have do, but he's like, man, look, I can't help it. I don't have that much time, on my clock to get the ball out or make a decision to get the ball out to the right receiver for that matter. So we'll definitely want to emphasize show some work towards getting that line better, either free agency, which is here, or the draft in a month. Then figure that out in terms of making sure whoever you got back there, you got them protected along with the run game.
Absolutely.
It's interesting, guys. Before we go to break here in a second, it's interesting because you look at the Seattle Seahawks, like we just kind of mentioned, and while they're going through a full reconstruction, I feel really, really bad for a guy like Jackson Smith and Jigba right now.
Yeah.
Because you have a receiver there that's really, really promising for his future. Just had a 1,100 plus yard season. I mean, he broke out with Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks this last season. And now he looks around and he's like Will Smith in that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meme where he's like looking around the living room and all the furniture got stolen and he's got nothing around him. Because you look at that offense and you lose DK. Tyler Lockett's no longer there. Geno Smith is no longer there.
He was a staple.
There's all these other weapons, or I guess things I should say, distractions for defenders that would allow Jackson Smith and Jigba to then go off the way he did, right? And I look at Seattle, they have 5 picks in the top 92 selections in the 2025 draft. I just looked it up. Their first round pick is 18th overall. And this is where I wonder, AG, we talked about it last week. Guys, we always talk about it. We always like the evaluation piece of what Seattle's going to do at quarterback, because they have Sam Howell and Jaron Hall. Those are their 2 quarterbacks in the room. And it's once again, you look at this draft and go, which of the guys that are available do you feel best about being able to take over your franchise and lead? And we've had many conversations about this, that none of them really give you that great of a feeling. And so Seattle, it's almost like we talk about writing on the wall. It's almost like you can see it coming, that if Seattle's going to go draft a quarterback, they're going to overpay for a draft pick. They're going to go spend a ton of draft capital to trade up from the pick number 18, because that's going to take a lot to move up 15 or more picks. And then for a desperation move, you're going to trade away at least probably 2 or 3 of those top 92 picks in the draft just to move up 15 spots and take a flyer on a guy. Or we're going to see Seattle try to get into this free agency hunt with some of these quarterbacks.
It's going to be interesting to see, like, will the murmurs begin of like Russell Wilson going back to Seattle? I mean, I thought Russell Wilson would either be the quarterback for Pittsburgh or the Raiders. So now you took the Raiders out because Geno Smith is there. Pittsburgh, it sounds like they're either going to go Justin Fields or Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers, you got Justin Fields probably going to the Jets. I mean, there's not many locations for Russell Wilson. I mean, I'm not even seeing him as being a starter next year at this point. Seattle might be that only spot where, and you don't know what their interest might be in him since he's already been there.
And isn't that bizarre? Because the whole reason that the narrative that was out there was the only reason that he was playing for Pittsburgh is because they wanted to prove that he's still being capable of being a starter. And he did prove that, right? Because Justin Fields was fine. Russell Wilson came in, probably elevated a little better, and obviously led Pittsburgh to a playoff game. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, is if you don't have a job the next year, what was the previous year for?
Right. Well, it's going to be, this is the only beginning. We got the draft coming up next month. That'll be there. There'll be a flurry of trades and signs that'll be going on up until that point. And there's plenty much more we can discuss on that tomorrow. But yeah, there were major moves done in Pittsburgh. What makes you wonder what's going to happen with Pickens? Quite honestly, my wick with him is about up with the antics, etc. He's very talented, but at the end of the day, man, he put a lot of energy into the other things more than he did performing in crucial times. I think there's a lot of blame to go around, not just on him, from the play calling to the lack of protection at quarterback. So there's a lot of things going on in Pittsburgh and leagues around, teams around the league. You look at, Oakland, what are they going to look like now? They bring in a Geno, what they're going to, what they're going to do with that.
I mean, they're going to have a good quarterback now. They just got to do the same thing. They got to make sure they got an O-line to protect them.
They don't have to worry about Aiden O'Connell, the former Purdue guy back there.
Or Minshew, what's his name? Minshew. And so this is,
they have run game. They have I know they have Amir there. I know, and I'm not sure who else is with him in the backfield, but I know Amir's there. They got a tight end in Bowers from Georgia, who got tight end, offensive rookie of the year this year. So they got some pieces. They just got to, add in more pieces. And then you look at Cleveland. They get Miles. They keep Myles Garrett.
Sign Myles Garrett to a huge
one. Big
money
deal
talk, because he was saying, "I'll sit out." They were like, "Come talk to us a little bit." He's like, "I'm back."
Right. So they found the common denominator there that would obviously keep him there in a Browns uniform. But hopefully they can fix everything else that's going on with that Browns organization from an offensive standpoint. And I'll say internal as well. Just make sure they get the players, just like we were just talking about with the Steelers, get the quarterback they need. They do have a run game a little bit, but they could still always add to the inventory there. Receivers as well. They have some good core receivers, but defense, offensive line, defensive line still has to be addressed for the Browns. And obviously just the whole culture of the organization too, to get right in the right direction. You know, they got to start down a certain path to get, you know, I say good with the fans and good with the state of Ohio. I think this was the first step, getting Myles Garrett, so I say solidified to be on that roster for the next few years, or potentially the rest of his career.
Not to bounce around too much, to add context for the Raiders, they have so Amir gets carries at times. They also used a draft pick a couple of years ago on Zamir White, the running back from Georgia. They also signed Alexander Madison, who was had a nice career in Minnesota before his time with the Raiders.
Running back committee.
Those are the two running backs. Zamir White, when he's able to stay healthy, number one, he was banged up last year, which opened the door for Amir Abdullah in more than his usual special teams role. But then also Alexander Madison going forward will be in that room as well for the Raiders, I believe.
Well, as we go to break here, little breaking news. Penn State just inks a $50 million partnership agreement to rename its field. That helps with rev sharing starting in roughly 4 months.
Hello.
It will officially be West Shore Home Field. West Shore Home Field at Beaver Stadium. The Penn State Board of Trustees voted to pass $50 million agreement 22-8.
Yeah.
So it will now be known as the West Shore Home Field at Beaver Stadium for $50 million.
Yeah, if that gives James Franklin an extra couple bucks to divvy up, then yeah, I'm all I can understand why you would probably want to pass that.
Absolutely.
I wonder how long it'll be till Memorial Stadium turns into something
interesting.
Yeah, that's some money, man. Raff, that's a great question. I mean, you talk about that type of money. It's hard to say no to that in this new age that we're in. You know.
Yeah, and it's just like kind of what Raff mentioned. Just looking at NFL teams and what they do for their payrolls, their money in the bank accounts. You know, stadiums being name rights sold and from every gate. You know, so like in Green Bay, every gate is one gate is the Aaron's Gate, which is a lawnmower company. Another gate is the Miller Lite Gate. Then it's American Family Insurance Gate, and then it goes on. They got 8 gates, so that means they got 8 gate sponsors that could put in $2-3 million just to have their name on a gate where they know that fans, you know, millions of fans every Packer season is going to walk through that gate and get a flyer from Aaron's Lawnmower Company, from Miller Lite Company, from American Family Insurance, just to name a few of their sponsors that are there in the state of Wisconsin. So it just continues to copycat. You know, college football, like I mentioned, you know, we talked about it a lot. College football is going to eventually take all the little details from NFL organizations to make sure they sustain and have what they have to pay their players, because that's where they're living at right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, folks, that segment was brought to you by Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected representative since 1999. Can help protect your name, home, vehicle, family, and even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward, and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. Folks, when we come back, got a quick history segment, and then we'll talk about basketball, both men's and women's over the weekend. We'll be right back, folks. It's The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Nebraska Lottery.
Hey, I heard Trucks and Bucks is back.
Yes, sir. And this year you could win one of 8 new gray trucks. People from around the state just love this game.
They do?
You bet. Just this morning, I got calls from excited players in Burwell, Sutton, Fall City, and Ralston.
Well, you can add Wilbur to the list.
You're from Wilbur?
No, that's my name.
Oh.
If you get a call from Alma, that's my aunt.
That's her name?
No, that's where she lives.
Trucks and Bucks top prize odds are 1 in 336,000.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchased from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today. Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
When you get the Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime you work out. And now through March 13th, get your first month free when you join. You heard that right. Conquer the stair climber with your partner in climb. Enjoy a post-workout recovery session in the hydro massage. And do it all again with access to any of our 2,700 convenient locations. So, you coming? Get your first month free and all the perks of the PF Black Card for just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends March 13th. See Club for details.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back. We are back. Some other news, nothing to do with sports, has to do with real life issues. I seen where the police just confirmed that was Tyler Goodrich's body. The young man that was reported missing back in 2023, I believe. I just seen it come across the phone there that they did confirm that it is Tyler Goodrich's body. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends, all who knew Tyler. I did not know him at all, but I can't imagine what his parents were dealing with since November of 2023. Says a man was walking his dog less than 1,000 yards from the home of Tyler Goodrich.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm sure there's just a lot of, there's closure, I'm sure, for that family, but also just still wondering how that was done. So regardless, I don't want to get into that, but just to say our thoughts and prayers go out to Tyler Goodrich and his entire family and his friends, all who knew that man. And I can't imagine something like that, man. We love our kids. I mean, I would give my life for my kids, and all who have kids would do the same. You wouldn't even think about it. So I can't imagine what the hell that family has been through the past 2 years, and finally get some closure that his body have a proper burial as far as that goes for the young man. So again, our thoughts and prayers out to them. In regards to history, whoa, there's some history that I don't want to talk about, which I'm not going to at this time. We'll get into some ones.
Whoa! You cannot do that.
Yeah, you can't do that, AD.
Yeah, that's really, really bad.
Yeah.
Well,
why even bring it up? That's
well,
like, you don't.
Exactly. You can't do that.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Nebraska basketball. I was going to bring it up. I am now.
Yeah,
the last
you
time
have
they've
to.
not made a conference tournament. Was in the 1970s.
76.
And because what's that, Raff?
1976.
Yeah, that was the last time. I was 2 years old. 49 years ago was the last time they have not played in their conference tourney. So 49 years ago for Nebraska basketball, which we will talk a lot about at this next segment, both men's and women's. So I'll just leave it at that one. That was the last time Nebraska, because, when they joined the Big Ten, of course, the original Big Ten, all teams made the tournament.
That's correct.
You kind of played your way. If you were at the bottom, you could play your way to the tournament.
Now you got to get in. Now you got to earn your way.
Yeah. And if you're the bottom three and you think about it, I'm not going to go into that. So I'm going to say, we'll talk about that the next segment, but 1976.
Yeah, that's no more of that. You can't do that.
I wasn't going to bring it up because
you can't. That's a broadcasting no-no, AD. That is a broadcasting no-no.
And he goes, hey, I have something really, really crazy to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you.
I think it was for my own sanity, I guess. I don't know, so I don't throw my laptop further.
I could have hugged you. It's all right. If that would have made you feel better.
Hey, bro, you got to learn to get over things, bro.
Raffy, what you got today in history, my friend?
All right. On this day in 1991, Eddie Sutton leads his fourth team to the NCAA tournament. Can you guys name those four teams that he led to the NCAA tournament?
Eddie Sutton?
Eddie Sutton.
Oklahoma State was one of them, wasn't it?
What's that?
Oklahoma State was one, right?
There's one.
Houston?
Nope.
I don't even know the others. I just remember him always from
Oklahoma. Did he go to Oklahoma too?
It was Oklahoma State.
I unfortunately know them.
Did you just look it up?
No.
Well, go ahead. Okay, Raff. Okay, wait a minute, because I have no idea.
I want you guys.
All I can think of is Oklahoma State.
One of them hits close to home.
Very Iowa or Iowa State.
Creighton.
Creighton. I was gonna say Creighton.
Two current day SEC schools. Is that correct, Raff?
Yep.
Yeah.
Arkansas and Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew it was another two Southern teams in there. That's why I said Oklahoma.
Hey. Good morning.
Yep. Good morning. We got it for spring break.
Look at it right there. Who is that, AG?
That's my granddaughter, Melanie. We got her for spring break.
Melanie got the blanket on and everything. She out.
Yep. She just woke up.
I love it. To be a kid again. 10 o'clock. Yeah, I think I'll get up.
I got a busy day ahead again. Well, that's basically what Raff does.
Well, actually, last week, Wednesday through Friday, it was more like 11, but it was
nice.
Nice. Paying attention, right?
Getting that beauty sleep, Raff. I hear you.
I could see it. I could see it in some of the pictures. All right, AG, what do you got for us?
I got from going back to 2022, just a few years ago, on March 10th was I'm gonna just spell this out, the RCA DIA Rainbow Six Siege Championship Spring Competition took place, where the winner of the main received the main share of 3,500 euros in the prize pool and a 7-day boot camp at I think it's Arcadia is how you say it, in our free play area for visitors. Were able to test the XMG Neo and the winner's merchandise there. So that was over in somewhere over in Europe in 2022, the Rainbow Six Siege Championship Series, Spring Series.
Never touched the game in my life.
Yeah, good game. Very tactical game. You know.
My favorite day in history is about to be on Thursday, though. AG, you know why? You know what's coming out on Thursday?
This Thursday?
Yeah, this Thursday.
Baseball.
Actually,
baseball. Yeah, I would say
it'd be Wednesday night at midnight.
It's first pitch.
MLB The Show 2025.
Oh, the game coming out. That's right. You're in my area, so I should have known. Should have been video game.
Yep. MLB The Show.
Yeah, I've been playing 24 right now. I've been on 24.
So have I.
So, Nick, with that, does anything from 24 transfer into 25, or is it all brand new for you?
So there's
your
a couple
experience. Some of your experience.
Well, yeah. So they obviously make updates like gameplay, right? But then on top of it is they actually have these things called Diamond Dynasty, which basically, if you play Madden,
it's like Madden Ultimate Team or Fantasy.
Yes, it's like Ultimate Team where you can get different collections of players. So I can have AG as my running back, and I can have Josh Allen's card as my quarterback, and I can have DK Metcalf on one side and Jerry Rice on the other side. Like you can, it's mix and match teams, and you play. That's basically what. Yeah, Madden Ultimate Team. But now it's just baseball. So I have, I can have somebody, I can have Greg Maddox pitching, Willie Mays in the outfield, whoever they have a card for, right? Well, Diamond Dynasty, you open packs basically, and what they're doing in 2024 is they have these packs called Now and Later, and if you get those packs, however many you get in 2024, you get that many packs in 2025's game. So that's the part that transfers over a little bit. But other than that, not a whole lot of carryover.
I like that from Madden.
So anyway, yeah.
But, all right, Madden needs to adopt that right there.
We're up against the clock. AD.
All right.
Go ahead and send us away.
There is some great history there. We're going to talk more about it when we come back.
Yeah, can't wait to talk Husker basketball.
Oh man,
time to party.
Tough.
Hey, take the tone out your voice. Get us to the break. Let's go.
Yeah,
be a man about this. Okay,
the tone will stay there because I'm pissed.
Yeah,
we'll be right back.
Yeah,
folks.
you're
It's the
telling.
drive.
Be a grow up. Let's go.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Ella Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and warm with an afternoon high around 81. Tonight, clear skies and a light breeze, low near 38. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies, continued breeze, and an afternoon high around 59. Our meteorologist Kyle Buckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Welcome to The Drive with AD Raff and Ahman Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back on this beautiful Monday. Top of the hour, a little past top of the hour. New door opening. Raff, speaking of doors, who we brought to us? What is brought to us by, my man?
No, we're sponsored by Doors Plus. If your garage door needs maintenance, you need an entirely new garage door, give Cameron Hall and his team a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus is locally owned and handles everything from residential or commercial garage doors, garage door openers, safety tune-ups, or custom design. Visit DoorsPlusLLC.com to learn more. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
We'll start with the brighter spot first. With the women's basketball team, of course, they one game away for playing in the championship game. It's the fourth or fifth year straight they've gone this far.
One game away from playing the
semifinals.
Yeah,
one game away
they
from
lost
semis.
in the quarters.
Lost in the quarters to a very good UCLA team. First of all, they took care of business against Rutgers early, beat them handedly. A heck of a game they battled with Illinois and banged with them on that last Tuesday or Wednesday. Regardless, they banged with Illinois. They beat Illinois last Thursday. Great game with Illinois. And then on Friday, came up short against the reason why UCLA's only lost 2 games, number 4 in the country. Betts, the big gal in the middle. In fact, David Freehoff was telling us too, just looking at their starting lineup. I mean, they were all 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'7" with Betts. Betts was a handful, but Nebraska played their tails off, Raff and AG and Nick. And Raff, you said something about Britt Prince, where she really, in this tournament, in my opinion, she grew up in front of our eyes, in my opinion. She always had it in there, but it seemed like the game slowed down for her. I was talking to a few basketball coaches, buddies of mine. They were like, it seemed like the game slowed down for her a lot more, particularly the last part of the season. And obviously, you hate that she got hurt. Sometimes when you sit out, and a buddy of mine that coaches out in California told this to me, that I've been speaking for him for years. He goes, sometimes when a player like her gets hurt and she's able to just watch it, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise because they see the game from a different perspective. And when she came back, she was no holds barred, man.
It's almost like passing of the torch, guys. Like, you got to remember, so going through just the last couple of years, even prior to Amy Williams, there's always been like, Nebraska's always had one superstar. I think it's okay to say that one superstar, in that whether it was back to Dominique Kelly, or whether it's Jordan Hooper, or whether it is Jessica Shepard or Alexis Markowski, or now Britt Prince. You're about to see the passing of the torch over to Britt Prince. She was spectacular. And so, so I thought, I mean, Britt she was spectacular in her time with Husker women's, or excuse me, with high school. Now it's the step up. You had Alexis Markowski, 1 year of overlap there. Obviously, Nebraska women's basketball isn't done playing yet, but Raff, AG, man, they are there's a lot of excitement for the future because of not only what some of the players that Amy Williams and her staff have been able to get out of the portal. Look at how valuable Alberta Rimdahl was down the stretch for Nebraska, the transfer from Florida. And then you mix that with the younger players of an Amaya Hargrove and Jess Petrie and Natalie Potts, if she stays healthy, and Logan Nisley. There's a lot of excitement coming in the near future. And guess what? What's the biggest bugaboo for Nebraska basketball right now? At times, they don't have a ball handler. They don't have somebody they trust with it at the guard position. Nebraska women's basketball got that on lock.
Well, you think of, I totally agree with you, Nick. AG and Raff, you look at who they should have returning, barring, transfers and things of that nature. But as of right now, you got Logan Nisley, who's the sophomore this year, of course. Allison Widener is a redshirt junior. Obviously, you have Kennedy Williams that'll come in next year. You lose Rimdahl, of course. Jessica Petrie is only a sophomore. She'll be a junior next year. Hakey is only a junior. You'll lose Kendall most likely, obviously, because she's a senior. You got Natalie Potts, like you mentioned, injury-wise, if she can come back. Prince, of course, the freshman. You will lose Kendall Coley. Hargrove, true freshman. Obviously, Markowski's gone. Petra Brozen is only a freshman. So they have a huge part of that team coming back, minus Markowski and Rimdahl as far as that goes. But they've got a lot of pieces coming back, and they're not done because that Selection Sunday, that'll come up and see where they land at.
Yeah, they definitely have a great possibility of making some noise in the tournament. I think just you add, like you talked to, like with Britt Prince, it just feels like now she's like really came into her own, and now you're going to mix that with Markowski, and you're going to give them a week of rest. I mean, this team, they've
3 straight nights
has been, with the injuries this year, they haven't had the depth that they might normally have. So just getting a little bit of rest now for them. I think they're a team that I think you could see them make a run for the Sweet 16 if everything falls right in the seedings.
Yeah, I think Nebraska. Yeah, I think it's matchup based, right? Like we see that with men's basketball all the time, where it's like Nebraska men's basketball last year could have made a little bit of a slight run as well, but man, they just got met with one of the most athletic teams in the entire country with Texas A&M. But I think like AG, when you look at Nebraska women's basketball, it's remarkable what they've been able to do with the injuries. Like that in its own right, to be able to win a couple of games in the Big Ten tournament. And it goes to show why seeding in the Big Ten tournament is so valuable, is because UCLA was fresh. That was the first game of the tournament for UCLA. Nebraska, as we just mentioned, that's 3 games in 3 days for them.
Exactly. I mean, and throughout the season, man, the ladies just showed that resolve. They played through every minute of a game. Even in this UCLA game, you watch it where they're down, a good clip, like almost 15 points, but then they push to get the score to what the end of the score is, 74-85, where they're still shooting back-to-back threes. UCLA hits a three-pointer, they come right down. You know what? We could do that too. Boom. So they're showing that competitiveness amongst their players. And like you said, you got the young players coming back in terms of Brett Prince that had a ton of time this year to get out there and showcase who she is. And now she definitely understands who she is as a player on that team. And it will definitely grow in this offseason to be a leader, more of a bigger role in terms of that aspect. And then having Markowski do her job most of the year was also fantastic to add that where there's 2 or 3 players that you got that kind of like nucleus for a team, professional basketball teams. You have 2 or 3 players that are the nucleus of a roster, then it's easy to build in a couple role players that can then do something special, either a good rebounder or a good scorer to then, balance out everything. So you saw that throughout the year through the injuries, the mindset they had, the toughness. So that's an ode to Amy Williams and that coaching staff to make sure that no matter the situation, no matter who was on the roster playing, they're going to come out there and give whatever team they were playing their best and play all the way to the bitter end. And that's what you saw here. And so it's going to be fun to see how far they can go into the NCAA tournament.
It is. Like I said, they have a lot of their nucleus back. It was good to see those girls compete. And like I said, they just ran into a very fresh, very talented, very tall UCLA Bruin team, again, led by Betts. And they, like I said, they're 6'4", 5'11", 6'1", 6'3", 6 foot. I mean, on down the line. And they gave them all they could handle, and they got about midway through that fourth, and they began to pull away with that height and just pound the ball down in the paint. And Betts really just kind of dominated, kind of exerted her will down the paint later on.
No, as of right now in the projections, Nebraska is projected to go to South Bend, Indiana, to Notre Dame's region, to where they would, in this hypothetical scenario, play 7 seed Oklahoma State, which means Nebraska is projected to be a 10 seed in the women's basketball tournament. So it'd be a 10-7 matchup. Nebraska would have to play the Oklahoma State. It's Cowgirls when you're referring to the women's sports for Oklahoma State. So the Cowgirls down there in a 10-7 matchup, Nebraska would be the 10 seed there. And if they were able to knock off Oklahoma State, then they would play the winner of number 2 seed and the host school Notre Dame against Lehigh. Lehigh is would be the 15 seed in that region. So that is the projections right now. And when it's all said and done, they'd be in UCLA's regional overall. So you can't escape them.
Nope.
You cannot escape them. Don't run away.
There's no running away here. You got good teams.
Speaking of running away, Nebraska allowed Iowa to run away with that game last night, guys.
Yes, they did. Nebraskans drops that game at home yesterday, 83-68 to Iowa. Gentlemen, like I said, it was a game to where it was senior day. It was win to advance. Whoever won that game would advance. It was kind of Nebraska's last cry, if you would. They had the 5 games losing streak, which obviously was the last one yesterday. They go 0-5 to end the season, and it was just a rough month of Nebraska basketball as far as men go. A lot of heartbreaking losses. Yesterday was only heartbreaking in the end result because that game was. They got within like 8 or something like that, 8 or 6, and then after that it was just all she wrote. Iowa literally they moved on offense. They were very fluid on offense. We looked like we were stuck offensively. And I know, and Bryce, it wasn't his best game, but I tell you what, if anybody I'm going to give a pass to, it's going to be a Bryce Williams. He ended up with a total of 7, but you take Bryce away, we're not even in that position to begin with. So he was double teamed a lot. They did a lot of exotic things on Bryce. But Nick, you mentioned this almost probably 2.5 months ago I forget what loss was you mentioned, and a lot of people mentioned, but you mentioned on the show, somebody's going to have to step up and help the guy eventually.
Yeah.
And we never quite saw that happen. If Bryce is not on, Nebraska is in big trouble.
Yeah, I think it's fair for us to say also that yesterday Bryce didn't show up.
Right.
Like, unfortunately, Bryce went 3 for 12 from the field, which is uncharacteristic. And I'm sure there's going to be pushback of, excuse me, voice given out. Isn't there? I'm sure there's going to be pushback of, well, Nick, doesn't Bryce deserve to have an off night every now and then? Well, yeah, but also with the team like Nebraska, with where they're at, the margin for error was so slim that, I mean, technically speaking, you don't have the ability to have a night off, or an off night, because there's just not enough room for error. But then, yeah, to your point, nobody stepped up. I mean, Sam Hoiberg stepped up consistently for this team down the stretch. It just wasn't enough with his style. It wasn't enough because he's not going to be going out there and giving you 25 points a game, and that's not what you're going to ask him to do. I think on top of it also is like you have guys. I go back to this time and time again that were brought in to do specific things, and now they're detrimental to your program to where they're playing valuable minutes, and consistently giving you underachieving basketball.
Yeah.
Partially that's on the players, partially that's on roster construction. I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, I mean, the player you're talking about is Connor Season, right? I mean, I'm
talking about a lot. I mean, you can go down. Berke has been playing underachieving basketball. Raleigh Wooster certainly has.
Yeah.
Connor Season has. I mean, there are multiple. Braxton Mia wasn't on the floor the last 4 games of the season, and you went out and got him out of Washington. Like, it's just these guys. You go out and get them, and then you can't play them.
Yeah, and I say that boils down to one. You already said it. Is the players. They got to understand why they're there. Obviously, as a player, you're there for a college degree. Do that. Make sure you graduate, but also on that court or on that field or on the diamond, you got to know, okay, this is what I got to do. This is what I've been productive in previous places that I've been, and got to know it and own it. And I say, get the confidence within yourself. So that's the coaches helping those guys out. Find that if they something with a confidence thing or just working on fundamentals, if it's just that, getting to a point where you know how to get off screens and get off defensive guys that are on you, grabbing you, stuff like that, and not to let that, get in your mental of your game. Because once you understand, okay, look, I'm brought in to play defense, grab boards, or I'm brought in to shoot the 3 and have a high 3-point percentage to when I get the kick out and I'm wide open, I'm going to hit it. That is basically knowing your job and then having confidence in the job. So that's where it's a little bit of coaching and the players understanding more to the players' point of when I get that ball, I got to know I have to do this, because if not, it's going to show up on the sheet. It's going to show up in the stats to where I'm shooting, below 20% or what have you. So the players got to understand for themselves, the player, they're role players for a reason, but then it's important role when it comes down to it in the long run of the season, especially like now where we're at, because obviously it's going to be really, really tough for our men to get into the dance because of the way the overall team and coaching staff has played. But it's been some other things out there that's made it a little bit tough. As I know you're gonna hit that road in a minute.
Yeah. I mean, NCAA tournament's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone. It's NIT or the Crown Invite out in Las Vegas now for Nebraska.
Yeah, I was referring to like some of the bad officiating, in this last game, or the last couple games. So
go ahead, Raffy.
I think chemistry plays into it too. You look at teams, throughout the years, not just like Nebraska basketball and stuff like that, but like I kind of harken back to the 2009 Minnesota Vikings had a great season, played good. You came back the next year, had a lot of the same pieces and stuff like that. You expected the same, and the chemistry just wasn't there that next year. I kind of felt that way with Nebraska basketball. Like last year, you looked at the end of the year, it felt like they had that chemistry, that gel of a team. It felt like this year, for the back probably third of the year, it just did not feel like there was any type of that chemistry or that gel of that making that magical run or anything like that. So I just thought the chemistry was off this year with this team.
Well, guys, I think part of that is losing. I like how much of it tests, I think, your mental fortitude when you play the way you play, and you lose some games in the fashion that Nebraska basketball lost. I think it tests whether or not you're bought in, and it's gonna show it will expose those who are not bought in, or expose those that are not there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
When adversity hits or losses happen or injuries occur, who is able to stay together and lead this team and who falls into the shadows is now magnified. And it's not just in practice. It's not something that you can contain to the locker room. It shows on game days going forward. And we saw it down the stretch. It looked disoriented. It looked discombobulated. It did not look like there was a lot of togetherness on that team. And it was really, really disappointing because it did look completely different at the start of the year, which is why you had so much excitement. They have the emotional win against Creighton. They had this slim loss against St. Mary's. They were able to bounce back after a couple of early Big Ten losses. But ultimately, when it was said and done, late in the season, when you've been spending a lot of time together, it looked worse and worse and worse. And it looked like an avalanche that had fallen 4 weeks ago and continued to get bigger and bigger, because yesterday was not good. I was in the arena, and it was not good.
I want to hear more about it. We're going to take a quick break, 10:30 break. I want to come back more. What do you do to fix Nebraska men's basketball? I just want to get your opinions. I'm not saying there's any wrong or right answers. I just want to get your opinions. And Nick, I want to hear more about what you saw sitting in the stadium, because like I said, this is it. Like I said, they go to either Vegas or they play the NIT, but in-state tournament, obviously that's done now. But where do they go from here? We come back, folks. We'll discuss it. It's The Drive, 93.7 A Ticket.
I'm Chief Dave Engler. When a fire truck hits a pothole with 12 tons of fast-moving equipment and crew, it's a problem. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue Lincoln's quarter-cent sales tax for street improvements. A vote against eliminates the street funding. A vote for will not raise your taxes and keeps the funding in place. And better roads means faster response times. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com.
We use our Lincoln streets every day, and so do first responders. But visitors and out-of-town commuters also do. A quarter-cent sales tax for streets passed by voters in 2019 makes those commuters pay about $6 million a year to improve streets. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue it. A vote against means no more funds from commuters. A vote for will not raise your taxes, and commuters still pay. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com. Paid for by the City of Lincoln.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community. We're counting on working parents to make it happen, and they're counting on childcare professionals to have their backs. Employers and other contributors can earn up to $100,000 tax credit for strengthening childcare in our communities and state. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Well, it's the middle of winter, the holidays are over, and the weather is unpredictable. Isn't there anything to look forward to? You bet there is. Cash Blast from your Nebraska Lottery is back. Until April 1st, buy a 2x2 ticket and enter the voucher number online for a chance to win one of 7 weekly drawings for $5,000 or $500. And if your voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. Hey, there's nothing like a little green to cure the winter blues. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys. You'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks. There was an old show called Bewitched. Bewitched before you were around, Nick. And actually, the original series came out actually before me, Raff, and AG. Because Raff, what was it, like mid 60s when it first started coming on TV? Late 70s?
Late 60s, early 70s.
So we were just kids. But when there was trouble, she would say, calling Dr. Bombay, calling Dr. Bombay. And Dr. Bombay would come and fix things. Nebraska basketball needs a calling Dr. Bombay right now.
You know what? Who else you should call? Raff, do you have any guesses on this one?
Ghostbusters.
That is incorrect. You should talk to our friends at Renew. This segment brought to you by our friends at Renew. Call or text their team, 402-833-3858, or visit Renew online at renewyourauto.com. Raff, what do they do best?
They clean your car. They make it
The answer is everything, Raff.
They do auto body. They take your car and put window tint on it. They do everything.
Everything.
David's probably, man, he could probably run for mayor. He's that popular. He's that nice. He's that cool.
I think David should.
The mayor
of Lincoln.
The mayor.
There you have it. From body shop, ceramic coatings, window tinting, spray in bed liners, paintless dent repair, rust proofing and undercoating, and so much more.
Detailing as well.
Give their entire team a call or a text today, That number 402-833-3858, or you can learn more at renewyourauto.com and see what Renew can do for you. Let's hope Nebraska is renewed before they play in a postseason tournament.
Yeah. Raff, I'm going to start with you. What are you doing to correct what's been going on with Nebraska basketball, man?
What am I doing to correct? Oh, boy. I think you've got to hit a little bit better in your NIL players that you pick up, maybe. I guess that would be my thing.
AG?
I will definitely look within first. I will look at from coaching staff, evaluate ourselves, talk to the players that are returning, be like, hey guys, we gotta reevaluate things. We gotta check ourselves out, check our oil first, before we, point the fingers at anybody. So individually, look at ourselves in terms of what you could have done better throughout the season. I'm myself as a coach, I'm gonna do that, and I want my coaches to evaluate me as a head coach. If I'm Hoiberg, and then vice versa around the board, because you don't really know until you find out internally what's going on. You won't be able to fix anything on outside, like going to get players in NIL and recruiting and all that, in terms of what you really need, until you really get the inner lining, the fabric of your organization, which is your culture in the locker room, your culture in the coaching staff area, and stuff like that, and what coaches really believe in and what they don't believe in. What they want to, is it fundamentals, or if it's making sure we have the people, is it building out a nice roster or stuff like that. Find out where everybody lies, so you then can be aligned with one another, because then once you're aligned, then things will flow a lot better and work a lot better. But when you have coaches having one coaching style mindset and another one, you find out that then some of your assistants want to go this direction, and you have a little split. You don't want that. And the same with the locker room. If you have players that you feel obviously they want the ball more than others, and feel they can be more of a big factor, vice versa, and then other players feel the same for themselves. Either they want to try to pass the ball, whatever it might be. Find what that is, where you could get aligned, and be on the same page come the next season.
But in today's world of college basketball, I mean, really, how do you do that? I guess because the transition is so much. Like, you look within yourself, you can do that, but there's a good possibility next year you might see, maybe 60 to 75% of a brand new team next year.
Yeah, well, just go with the ones that that's staying, right? I mean, that's as simple as it could get. Whoever that's going to be around for sure next season, those are the people in terms of coaches and players that you say, hey, man, we got to have a deep dive. Let's do this right now. Let's take a week off, and then we come back. Then we're going to deep dive into our conditioning. We're going to dive into the play schemes that we ran throughout the season, against certain opponents, opponents that were out talent, that had better defense, the better offense, and vice versa. And if we overmatched the team, what went well in that game, finding out those little key parts of us, because obviously, like you mentioned, the roster in a year's time obviously is going to change, but with the ones the people that that's going to be there, because this is what NFL teams do, you got to go with the guys that's obviously year to year going to be there, and then say, hey, this is what we're going to work on, because this is what we were deficit at during the season. We didn't play good defense in this situation. We played great offense here, but sometimes we could have been better in this situation. But you do that, right there with the players that are in the building, still in the city during that time and moment.
Before I go to Nick, I'm going to say two things. First of all, I'm going to read this from Corey. Good morning to you. He goes, it looked pathetic down the stretch, and I'm so disappointed. They were so emotional when they've had the full backing of the fans, even in front of the home fans with lights out support. They literally have everything they need except Final Four team NIL, which is sad if that's the real problem. The win against Creighton early on made me feel like this team was a lock. Extremely sad to see how far they fell off. If it wasn't Fred, then it certainly had to be on an internal team thing. Nick, I'm going to say this, and here's my analysis. There are very few players on this roster, if I'm the coach, that are safe next year, the returning guys. And I mean very few. I am looking at production, because right now, the team that we're going to see play in Nevada or playing the IT is going to be 80% different than the team that you're probably going to see. For me, if I'm the coach, I'm not saying for Fred, if I'm the coach, it's going to be a lot different team that you're going to see next year. We were exposed in the paint all year long. We had no presence whatsoever in the paint. No one feared the paint against Nebraska whatsoever.
Not only that, but we had guys on that roster, unfortunately, and this is not a knock, this is just the numbers. We had guys on that roster, Nick, you look at the plus and minus factor. We had too many guys to where they were in the minus when they were on the court. You have to turn that part around. We had too many liabilities on defense as well as offense on that team. The only guys on that team, honestly, that would even scare me as an opponent, were two. There were two guys, consistently two. And that's Gary penetrating, going inside. And the other guy that would scare me, obviously, for obvious reason, is Bryce Williams. Other than those two, there's not a single player on that roster that would keep me up late at night as far as that goes. If you match player for player in the upper echelon of the Big Ten, and as far as that goes, Iowa yesterday was, they're 15 and 15 or something like that. And they exposed us. What they lacked is maybe as far as speed and agility. They just beat us as far as just with the fluidity on offense and knowing who they were. And it looked like they actually liked playing with each other.
I think there's a couple of things there. Number one, with the roster and how it's going to look different next year, I think that's going to take care of itself, mostly because of through the transfer portal, but then also what you're just naturally losing because of graduation. This team will not have Raleigh, won't have Bryce, won't have Ulyss, won't have Andrew Morgan, won't have Braxton Mia,
won't have Gary,
won't have Juwan Gary, and I'm sure that like questions are in the air about Rink Mass right now, right? Because I think that there was probably some thought prior to the season that this is not the type of year that they would have, and so he would be interested in coming back next year. You have to blend at what they have coming back, right? As of right now, they would have a guy like Connor Essegian coming back. They would have Berke returning. Gavin Griffiths could return. Sam Hoiberg could return. And then what's farther down the line potentially in especially a guy like Nick Janowski. I think if your priority number one, it is to keep Nick Janowski with Nebraska basketball. That needs to be, if we're looking at current roster, that is number one priority. Because of what you just mentioned about guys not being able to hit shots, what Fred has talked about, he talked about it yesterday as well, guys not being able to hit shots consistently. Think about, and we just had a texter mention this too, Garage Jeff. Seems like Tominaga would get really hot last year at home, which really pumped up the team. They just didn't seem to get fired up at home. I think Garage Jeff, what you're alluding to, though, is actually a concern. How much Keisei Tominaga's wild shot-making ability bailed this team out last year at times. I think ultimately when it was all said and done this year, you went out and tried to replace Keisei Tominaga with a guy like Connor Essegian, which can be an incredible three-point shooter. He can be. But I want to let you know, in the last 4 games, in this incredibly crucial stretch, guys not stepping up to the plate, unfortunately, Essegian is one of them. Go look deeper than just 0 for 11 yesterday from the field for Essegian or 0 for 8 from beyond the three-point line. This is where you can bring in the conversation of roster construction, is because it's a two-way street with roster construction and guys not stepping up to the challenge. Because Fred Hoiberg is forced, or his hands are tied, to where he consistently plays or has to play Connor Essegian on average the last 4 games, 26 minutes per game, almost over half the game. Because, number one, Nebraska's are losing and they need some three-point shooting ability. Number two, other guys around them do not step up to apply then pressure to Essegian or to any of the other players to say playing time might get taken away because player X is playing better than player Y. But then on top of it, over the last 4 games, 26 minutes a game, shooting 22% from the three-point line, and has just 4 assists in those 4 games. So you go out there and you look at like an offensive threat, specifically like Connor Essegian, and you say, what positive value in basketball terms only is he providing for Nebraska in that moment? And is the juice worth the squeeze? And the initial answer is no. But then when you compare him to the other options that Fred has, he is still your best option. So part of the blame goes on Essegian for not stepping up, and part of the problem goes on Fred and the staff for the roster construction. And so whatever the situation is, that is why Nebraska, I think, has such a tall mountain to climb next year, is because I think next year's roster looks a heck of a lot different.
Yeah, it does.
And not because of just of the graduation and the guys that are moving on because of eligibility.
Because of the changes that are going to take place.
Because that they need to. You don't have a Keisei Tominaga.
No.
Keisei Tominagas don't walk down the street. No. You cannot bail them. You cannot rely on just some guy that statistically shoots well from three to just bail you out time and time again. I said it earlier this season. I'll say it again. This didn't feel like the team that Fred Hoiberg wanted in terms of the way that they were made up. He can say it all he wants, but at the end, it just didn't feel like it fit Fred Hoiberg.
You know what,
and
guys?
That's where it's a problem, and it's on the staff.
And you know what, Nick, AG and Raff, I made this in a group that of ours. You watch this is apples and oranges, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be our women. You can just watch any team. The camaraderie, the fluidity, and the spirit on the court is night and day compared to the men's women's team. I'm only bringing that up because it's the sake of the proximity is what I'm simply saying. It just seems the men's team all year for the most part, and they showed it in spurts. Obviously, you can go to the Creighton game, you can go to the UCLA game
when things were going well.
Things are going well, but that was the exception and not the rule for this team this year. We didn't see that, and it showed. It was glaring. It was glaring in big moments. We can put the refs and things out there if you want, but better teams, those teams that are going to the dance, yeah, they have bad officiating too. They still won. So there's only so much you can put on the refs. You look at the Ohio State game, okay. I'm not saying you.
Yeah,
the guy was running back and forth, etc. Yeah, that happens to every other team in the Big Ten around the nation as far as they go. Take it out the conference. Better teams overcome that. You know, you even look at the Ohio State game. Bryson, like I said, I give him a pass of anybody, but he makes that extra free throw. You put the pressure back on Ohio State. They have to go down and score and win. So instead of us being up one, it was a tie game and it was going to go into double overtime. What I'm simply saying is that has been the narrative for Nebraska basketball in these crucial losses all year long.
I specifically wanted to make this point, guys, before we go to break. Is I am tired of Nebraska as the athletic department or even the fan base, because it's not fair to the fans. Do not compartmentalize Nebraska's struggles and make yourself feel better because the fan base is so strong. Mm-hmm. What I mean by this is we see tweets, and this is not me coming after people that tweet about it, because it's 100% valid and it's statistically correct. There was a tweet that was specifically made yesterday about how Nebraska finished 13th in the country in fan in attendance per home games, and they finished 16th in Big Ten standings. First off, that is disgusting on the face of it to think about it. Not the tweet. I have no problem with the person that tweeted it. I'm glad they did. What I'm saying is disgusting is you finished 16th in a conference. Number two is we need to look in the mirror if you're the Nebraska athletic department and start to prioritize winning. I told AD this actually a couple commercial breaks ago here in the studio. I said, I want recruits to eventually start to talk about Nebraska and why they want to come here, whether it's for football, whether it's for basketball, baseball, I do not care. I want recruits to start talking about they want to come to Nebraska because they win. You know what? Every year with Ohio State.
Yeah, I hear you, Nick.
Hey, Aaron Nolan or hey, Julian saying, why do you want to go to Ohio State? Oh, because the fan base. The fan base is always going to be here. It's great. It's incredible. This is not me taking anything away from the fan base. But when do we say that enough is enough and go, you know what? As an athletic department, let's reward those fans by prioritize winning a little bit more. Well, and instead of a Quentin Rhymes or a Dylan Raiola going, yeah, you know what? I'm excited for what Matt Rule can build. I'm excited for what Fred Hoiberg is building. I'm excited about the fan base. What if in 3 years, those comments change to, why do I want to go to Nebraska? They win. They win. And
Sounds familiar.
The only ones that can change that narrative, it's not the fan base. The fan base will always show up. The fan base will always show up. We need to stop
It's the players and the coaches.
Yes, we need to stop as I'm not saying to fans to boycott games. That's not what I'm getting at.
No.
What I'm saying is that inside the athletic department, we talk so much about the fans. It's the fans. The fans make this place special, and it always will be.
That's
but
part of it, not the whole deal, though.
You know how you continue to elevate that? You prioritize winning, and it's easier than ever. The blueprint is on the wall in this now day of college athletics. It is on the wall on how you prioritize winning, and it's money. We might hate it. We might just despise it, but it is on the wall on how you win.
Yeah,
and it is paying money and having the right people in place.
And Nick, how people feel about one may feel about the way the college game is right now. Your feelings, I'm sorry, they're irrelevant. It's just just the way it is right now.
Yeah, and I've been saying that since I've been on this show. Pretty much.
Your feelings about it are irrelevant. To your point, you're exactly right. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's the way it is.
I'm not trying to go on and on about this, and I'm not trying to take you guys out of this.
No, I understand. No, I get what you're saying.
Is that I wanted to clearly explain myself in that the fans are spectacular. They're always going to be there. And I don't think Nebraska is in a spot where they have to worry about taking the fans for granted. I think that they do a great job incorporating fans and making sure that they feel valued in this, that, and the other. So then what's missing? What was the conversation we had? The conversation we just had with Nebraska basketball had nothing to do with the fan support. It had nothing to do with the resources.
Yeah, it's the coaches and the players.
It is the coaches and the players. This is not me advocating for guys to get fired. This is not me advocating. What I'm saying is that if you have winning first and at the forefront of everything, winning as prioritized, you're not lacking in NIL investment. You're not lacking in the way that you spend the money. You're not mismanaging the money. And I think that overall, that's been Nebraska's problem, is when you look at the way that Nebraska evaluates the roster at the beginning of the season, they'll go after these big fish and they'll miss slightly on these big fish in recruiting and then skip over the next step down and go to guys that underperform at their previous stops because they know that they can get them, and they overpay for those guys. And then when they get here, we're just shocked that they don't work out. It's the evaluation, it's the mismanagement across multiple sports, not just men's basketball here.
Nick, thank you for saying that, because I've said it in so many different ways, but for you to say it and break it down level by level the way you did, that's simply it. Because when you have kids that are in state that go out of state to get a scholarship somewhere else, not Nebraska, that's a problem.
And AG, to your point, and they're going to those schools that are winning.
Right. They're going because they're going to win and they're going to play. They know, okay, if I'm a good player here in Nebraska, no matter the city, no matter the division, I go to Wisconsin, I go to Iowa State, I go to a JUCO, and then have an opportunity to bump up to get to North Dakota State or Mankato. I'm gonna play with a winning team, and I'm gonna be with a place that I know beyond the fans, the coaching staff, and the teammates we are aligned on winning. That is what's, and I've said this in so many different ways, from football teams to the basketball team to the baseball, softball, volleyball, who's nailing it, to the teams that are doing it right. We've talked about those teams in giving them their kudos. But the teams that are not, and you see they're struggling with it, we've also talked about them because that's what they're struggling with. It's not rocket science. To play on a good team is to have a good nucleus of players and coaches that understand each other first on a personal level. And then you go to the field level, the court level, the swimming pool level, the diamond, wherever the ice, wherever that now sport is going, for the hockey team, for the baseball team, for the volleyball. Now you connect on the court to then you're supposed to do that screen off of that without even looking at, you already know. Your player, your point guard looks at the center and they just give him that eye connection. Okay, I got to go get this screen ready to put him in a position to either pass or shoot. Or my running back, we hear the play call in the huddle. Oh, I look at my tackles and my guards and say, oh, we got to go get this. This is our favorite play. You know, I just look at them, be like, it's game time. We about to get a first down or a touchdown. It's just having that nucleus, like what we said in ad nauseum of what it takes is. And I go back, Nick. You took me back when I was a senior in high school, making my list of colleges I was going to take a visit. I was prioritizing where I wanted to be from an academic standpoint and from an athletic standpoint. The first thing that was on that list was what type of offense does this team run and where they're ranked number 2 in college football today. So I picked most of the teams I picked that was on that roster were in the top 10 because I wanted to win. I wanted to win a national title at the college football level. I was able to get away with 2. You know, myself, AD, and the guys that was on those rosters, that was our goal, and we all aligned. We understood we had to hit the weight room and do all the other things in line, but that was the point. Like you said, prioritize winning in a certain way, minus what you got to deal with in NIL and transfer portal. Then you'll have a foundation, a better foundation of understanding who you look for. You won't just like I think you mentioned it, AD, just now. You don't just go for the big fish because you have to. You find the person that fits us. Don't just find a person that's because we got the money to spend and go get them. Make sure we get the person that fits our attitude, our players that are already in the locker room first before we say, oh, yeah, that's the best tackle out there. But they might be from, a high school in Texas. They played against another couple rival high schools in Texas that are on our roster, and they don't get along, So you got to find that fine etching to make sure everybody is aligned on the same page.
We're about to get out of here. Raff, you'll have the RGT here in just a moment. The last thing I want to make a point is, and then really quickly, when you see Penn State sell naming rights and you see all these schools doing things to position themselves in a better spot for revenue sharing, that is a good thing when you're a fan of that university, because that tells you that they understand what the priorities are. And so if your university, and I'm not saying Nebraska isn't doing this, but I'm saying just as a general thought, if your university is not doing that, that is where you should have concern, because that tells you that they don't think that they need it. Right. Every school will need it, because guess what? If school down the street or school down the road has it and we don't, then we're behind. That's who's behind. That's just what I'll say. Let's go ahead.
Speaking of money real quick, do you think there'll be any opt-outs if Nebraska basketball does make it to postseason play?
No, because none of them will have like top 14 draft pick status. So they're not worried about lottery picks. They need the film. Raff, hurry up real quick. Apologies for being late and shoving this here quickly, but what's your RGT today, my friend?
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's Good Take goes out to the NSAA Women's Basketball Championships. Going against Wednesday, I think I was texting Nick asking, is it going to be on today? As the weather, they were able to overcome the weather, put on another great showing. Just everything that they do for the state of Nebraska and high school sports. Just wanted to give them their Raff's Good Take for today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Folks, the quote I love here is there's always a way forward, regardless of how stuck you may feel.
There you have
way
it.
Forward. AG, what you got, man?
I was just looking it up. Hold on. Sorry about that. Got a good one here for you. It's nothing will work unless you do. Maya Angelou.
Fitting.
Hey,
yes.
Very fitting.
That's fitting after the conversation we just had.
Very fitting.
Exactly.
Folks, thanks for riding us on this beautiful Monday morning. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. to drive.
Well, it's the middle of winter, the holidays are over, and the weather is unpredictable. Isn't there anything to look forward to? You bet there is. Cash Blast from your Nebraska Lottery is back. Until April 1st, buy a 2x2 ticket and enter the voucher number online for a chance to win one of 7 weekly drawings for $5,000 or $500. And if your voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. Hey, there's nothing like a little green to cure the winter blues. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
I'm Chief Dave Engler. When a fire truck hits a pothole with 12 tons of fast-moving equipment and crew, it's a problem. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue Lincoln's quarter-cent sales tax for street improvements. A vote against eliminates the street funding. A vote for will not raise your taxes and keeps the funding in place. And better roads means faster response times. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com.
We use our Lincoln streets every day, and so do first responders. But visitors and out-of-town commuters also do. A quarter-cent sales tax for streets passed by voters in 2019 makes those commuters pay about $6 million a year to improve streets. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue it. A vote against means no more funds from commuters. A vote for will not raise your taxes, and commuters still pay. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com. Paid for by the City of Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth 93.7.